I think that I'm live. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. How's it going? Yeah, I just got back from a bike ride and then I took a shower. I don't know why I'm telling you this. This is why I don't go live very often. And I just was having myself a nice little beverage, and lo and behold, I realized that I had a little present from Wizards of the Coast sitting on my counter, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna open this up and maybe I'll do it live. They didn't ask me to create any content. Ooh, sorry, that's annoying. Um, for this, they didn't say we'll send you this if you do something with it. But I'm sure they were hoping I would. So I suppose I will grant that wish because that was nice of them to send this to me. Um, okay, just checking in. Hey James. Hey Nico. Hey Nick can't snipe. And oh Chris, what's up Chris? Oh nice, congrats. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I hope that I'll enjoy it. Frost, Tarek, Tweep, what's up guys? And gals, if there are any that identify as such. So, one cool thing about this is that at Gen Con last year, so 2024, some people from WotC actually invited me and also the Dungeon Dudes to come and playtest this when it was still in development. So they had a very rudimentary version of it. It was all kind of like no art, and it was just like card stock. But it was really cool and it went well, and we gave them a lot of feedback on what we thought to try and make it better. I liked what they did with a lot of the stuff here, and so I'm hoping that it came through. I haven't talked about it because I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement saying that I wouldn't. But yeah, so that was fun. So I don't really do unboxings a lot. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do this or how I'm supposed to show you. Read me first. There's a quick start guide that tells me how to unpack the box, apparently, and a quick start video, some kind of basic instructions on like choose your role, playing a character, etc. Kind of, for intros. If you're the dungeon master, what do you do? Sorry. And then we get a little play guide, which I'm assuming is kind of like your sort of most basic of basic rules. And yeah, it explains the cards and stuff that they're going to do. So for those who don't know, okay, yeah, and it's got like, just some basic rules, playing how to play the game, what a D20 test is, things like that. Actions, advantage, disadvantage, exploration, combat, damage and healing. So just kind of the most essential, like basic rules to get you ready to play, right? It's a 30 page book is all, including a little glossary and stuff at the end. So there's, some decent amount of content in there for people who need rules. And then you get the adventure booklet, Wilderness. Let's see here. Got a cool like lizard folk on the cover. Just making sure that I'm not getting any comments that say like your volume is too low or anything like that. Okay, so yeah, it's just Wilderness. You've got a little map. You've got talking about character advancement. So obviously this is stuff for the DM. Just kind of some notes on, encounters, how to use the maps, how to use the tokens, which we'll get to in a second. A few different maps here. Giant Spider's Nest, encounter, etc. So just a quick little booklet there. And then we get oh gosh, I didn't realize there are multiple adventures in here. So Keep on the Borderlands adventure booklet. So, okay, so you've got Wilderness, Keep on the Borderlands, and Caves of Chaos. Most of you watching probably know more about this than I do. This one looks cool. So you've got like a little castle, big castle, I should say, and it looks like it's sort of an outdoor dungeon crawl, if you will. You're kind of breaching this castle, getting through the gatehouse, exploring the barn, private apartments, smithies, just kind of these different little locations and stuff. So probably most of these I would assume could be just kind of done as like a one shot almost, a one or a two shot depending on your table. You're questing here inside of a castle, and then I believe this is the last one, the Caves of Chaos. This looks cool. You got like a, is that a kobold? Looks like a kobold. On the cover. And yeah, okay, there's like multiple caves. Holy cow, all the way up to Cave K. So there's, what is that, 10, 11 caves to explore here. Just kind of gives you some quick hooks. You're in kobold layers. You're in a mephit layer, Nothic, goblins. So still kind of low level content, right? But great for kind of starters and you know, like cool little maps, info about the encounters, bugbear lair, etc. Minotaurs even, all the way up to, spoiler for those who are planning on playing this, the Shrine of Evil in Cave K. All right. So, okay, so let me kind of show you this. So this is cool. Gosh, there's a lot of stuff in here. I could be here for like a half hour showing you guys all this stuff. They've got maps, some pretty big maps too. So they've got these cave maps, for example, that go along with the cave adventure. Oh, I'm gonna ruin it. Sizable, right? And double-sided for like all the different encounters and areas that you might be exploring in these 3 different adventures that they've got in here. Yeah, there are a ton of maps. Holy cow. These are all the maps. So lots of cool maps in there. And then you get to the cards. So, okay, I keep saying this. For those who don't know, the plan that they've had now for some time with this starter set is to make it a little bit board game-y, right? So for those who are new to D&D especially, it's perfect, and it kind of gives you a way to get familiar with the TTRPG if you're familiar with like kind of regular board games, and might have a hard time sort of bridging that gap between just going into straight like imagination, you know, no like little fiddly pieces and tokens and cards and things like that, right? And so they have these character sheets, and this is like the cleric level 1, cleric level 2, cleric level 3, cleric level 4, right? And so it just kind of gives you all of the stuff that you need to know at level 1, and then it has a little space for like equipment. So like you're going to get an equipment card as a character. It's going to say, choose between, you know, the following equipment for your cleric, and it's going to give you like all these little options. Holy cow, there's so much cardstock in here. And so, okay, here's your little cards. So you'd get, I'm not going to open these right now, but there's all these cards that come, and it's like, okay, so there's background cards in here, there's spell cards, there's feat cards, there's equipment cards, etc., right? And you would take the card and you would say, okay, this is what I'm choosing for my equipment, and then you're going to put it in your equipment slot, right, on your little mat. So it just can help new players really kind of understand, okay, like, you know, how, like, just have little pieces, little tokens, little like hit point tokens, counters, power tokens for like spell slots, right? Gem tokens. There's there's little tokens for your players, and there will be terrain tokens. There will be treasure tokens, NPCs, like all different kinds of stuff. Just so they're really trying to kind of make it a little bit more board gamey, right? Monster tokens. Oh, there's some cool ones in here. There's an owl bear. Rather, oh, too glary. Anyway, you see it. Yeah, like so many, like gold, so money right? When you have gold, okay, I have this much gold and I can spend it on these equipment options when I get to the store at some point, when I get to the tavern or whatever at some point along the way in the adventure. So there's fighter, you've got rogue, etc., etc. And yeah, it'll tell you like, okay, here's your ability modifiers, rogue. Here's your initiative and your speed and your hit point maximum. And then you've got equipment cards and you've got like, an explanation of how sneak attack works, etc. And then when you hit level 2, right, you're going to have cunning action now is listed over there in your class features. So it just kind of really helps new players sort of keep everything in front of them, have something tactile, have something to read and to look at without having to like turn to the right place in the player's handbook, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I really like that. I really I hope that it will be a great way to help new players kind of get introduced to the game in a way that's super like friendly for new players. Ooh, and they even sent some dice. They're not particularly fancy, but I can never say no to more dice. They sent little card or character trackers. Gosh, there's a lot in here. On your turn combat. Oh, little like cheat sheet cards for what you can possibly do on your turn, right? So everyone can have one of these in front of them so they can go, okay, that's right. What can I do on my turn? I can take an action, I can take a bonus action, or a reaction and a reaction, I should say, if that comes up. So anyways, that's kind of everything. It's all kind of compact in this handy little box. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I like the art. I'm impressed that they managed to fit 3 adventures in there. And tons of cool cards and things. I think it will be good for new players. So let me check the chat because I haven't been reading the chat. No, Brandon, it's not the DMG Player's Handbook and Monster Manual all in one. It's for sure like just kind of reduced, simplified. Right, just kind of the basics to help people figure out if they want to play more D&D, at which point, yeah, they would need to probably buy the books, right? Or just go online. Sure, I guess you don't have to buy the books. That would be Watsy's hope. Let's see. Hey, thanks. Sorry, I need somebody in the chair reading me questions. How would you compare this to the other starter sets? For my money, it's the best one yet. I think I really like what they've done with trying to sort of game board-ify it. Hopefully, that won't lead to people like once they need to advance past, the starter set and go play Curse of Strahd or somebody's homebrew world, sorry, it won't be jarring for them. But, they could still use these things for the first few levels, right? Even in one of the adventures that aren't included in the starter set. And it could help them kind of transition, I think. So yeah, and the fact that they've got 3 adventures in there, granted they're all pretty short, but hey, you get together 3 times with, a group over the course of, a few weeks. And probably by the end of that 3rd adventure, they know what they're doing and they're excited to try something maybe a little more advanced. No new subclasses in there, Tarek, that I can see. It's all pretty Player's Handbook basic friendly. In fact, they might even... where'd I put the... They might even only limit you to 1 or 2 subclass options. Let's take a look, shall we? So Fighter 1, Fighter 2, Rogue 2, Rogue 1, Cleric. Here we go. You only have... Okay, so there's just Cleric, Fighter, Rogue, and Wizard. They go up to level 4. I'm guessing that that these adventures probably progress you up through level 4, if I had to guess. And for subclass, the Cleric is just a light domain Cleric, right? So yeah, it looks like they're just telling you what your subclass is. Fighter's probably a champion. Yep. Champion fighter. Let me guess. Rogue is a thief. Nope. Assassin. And Wizard's probably an evoker. Wizard is abjurer. That's a little more complicated. Anyways, yeah, so they tell you what your subclass is. Again, just kind of keeping it simple, right, for beginners. Okay, let's see. What other questions do you guys have? I got a stream to work. Yeah. Thanks, Math Guy Dave. Yeah, I know. I struggle, don't I? Okay, everything sounds good. Hey, Chris. Hey, everyone. Let's see. Yeah, definitely not something that everybody would need, right? This would be a great thing for those of you who want to introduce your friends to D&D, or if you yourself are new and you've always been curious, and you and your friends like to play board games, maybe you think you give this a try. I think it will make for a super easy transition, especially if you're familiar with a little bit more complicated board games. If you're into your Wingspans and your Everdells, rather than Monopoly and Risk. All right, let's see. Yes, epic randomness. Working on a D&D campaign for your little brothers. Yeah, something. This would be perfect for that, right? Introduce your kids to it, or like young teens, for sure. Yeah, Chris, you're right. The box is super heavy. It feels like a really hefty, weighty board game. They did a good job of making use of the space in there. It's packed. Let's see. Have I tried Pathfinder 2E beginner's box? I have not. Shaitan. I've not tried the Pathfinder 2E beginner's box. I didn't even know that they had one. So I can't tell you how it compares. Let's see. Somebody's knocking on my door. But I'll bet if they knew that I was live right now, they wouldn't want to come in. It's probably my wife. Okay, let's see. Let's just check the rest of these questions real quick. They look like the Daggerheart character card sheet. Yeah, they may have pulled some inspiration from that. But like I say, I know they were working on this over a year ago. They had a prototype of it already, right? So they've kind of been planning this now. Who knows how long Critical Role has been, planning their own physical fiddly bits for Daggerheart. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that they sort of, talked when things were in development and got ideas from each other. Let's see. Only goes to level 3 and it has 2 subclasses. No, I think it goes to level 4, if I'm not wrong. Did I misread that? Maybe I'm wrong. Level 3. Oh, you're right. Thanks for the call out, disembodied voice in my head. So I was saying it goes to level 4. It only goes to level 3, and it does have 2 subclasses. So you've got the life option or the light domain option for the cleric. Fighters are champions or eldritch knights. Rogues are assassins or thieves, and then wizards are, oh boy, probably abjurist and evoker. I'm gonna call it abjurer and evoker. Yep. So yeah, only goes to level 3. So each one of those campaigns probably for level 1, then level 2, then level 3, right? Would be my guess. Yeah. So let's see. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any more questions. How does the campaign look? Yeah, I mean, like I say, it looks pretty cool, and the campaigns look like they're probably 1 or 2 shots, I would say. But there's 3 of them, so that's pretty nice. Let's see. Oops. And yeah, the adventures look like they do a pretty good job of kind of hand-holding, a new DM. It would be a good one for a DM to kind of cut their teeth on and learn the ropes, I think, of running a game. Um, let's see. Any advice for new DMs? I'm thinking about running my first game soon. Would you recommend this? Okay. I just answered that question, I think. My players already have characters. Yeah, and Mystic Misfit, I don't think there's any reason why you would like have to like use all of these pre-generated characters and stuff. If your players have already made characters and they want to do something else instead, great. I think all of the kind of character sheets and the cards and all that kind of stuff are just sort of super helpful for brand new players, right? Or someone who kind of needs a little more hand holding. They're brand new to the idea of like TTRPGs. But you could for sure bring your own characters, no question. And yeah, it might be just a nice one to kind of help you learn to DM. Have your first DM adventure. Let's see. Have I ever thought about doing builds for Daggerheart? I have. But I'm still learning how to play the game myself, so it's hard. And Chris, if Chris is still here, he knows what I'm talking about when I say, when you've kind of built a career for yourself on being at least an expert, I suppose. I don't know if I'd call myself that actually, but at least portraying the idea that you know what you're talking about and that you're capable of optimally doing something in a game. It's tough to get a brand new game that you don't know anything about and then both learn it and then also sort of try and quickly get to a place where you can present something with confidence and be like, this is a really good build. Because it's like, I hope. So yeah, that's a little daunting. But we're going to play, Chris and I think Monty and Kelly are going to play with Jeremy, Insight Check, in a Daggerheart one-shot coming up probably next month sometime if we can get our schedules to align. So that should be fun. And then maybe after that, who knows? I might love it and be like, oh, I have to build characters for this. Right now, I'm a little on the fence, and it depends on demand too, right? Right now, I see a lot of people talking about it, and the likelihood is if I released a video on it, the first one would do well, and the second one would do less well, and the third one nobody would watch. if history is any indicator. But I could be wrong. Maybe Daggerheart will be different, and it'll really take off. And if so, hey, great for Critical Role, and that would probably increase the likelihood of me making content for it, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, Chris mentioned the Daggerheart. All right, can we ask hyper-specific questions? Like, what would you change on the Full Metal Abjuris build for the 2024 version? Tweep, I appreciate the question. But, well, first of all, the Full Metal Abjurist, yeah, I would have to pull up the document, the script for that, and spend a few minutes looking over it and making some changes, and that would make everybody else really bored. So I would say questions that don't require me to do a little research before answering are fair game, but that one would require a little bit of research. Let's see. Joining Critical Role. Oh no, Nico Theos. We're not joining Critical Role. We might be playing Daggerheart in a one shot, hopefully. But yeah, have not been invited yet to join Matt and crew. I did get to meet Matt Mercer at Gen Con this year, like a month ago, and he was such a lovely human, as I'm sure you would imagine him to be. He was super cool. He was being mobbed by people, and he had to have bouncers keeping people at bay. But Kelly actually introduced me to him, and he was very lovely. Let's see. Don't let me be a monk. Come on, I gotta be a monk. Are there monks in Daggerheart? I don't even know. I'm sure there probably are. I'm working my way through through the rule book right now, but I'm going very slow because I've been super busy. So yeah, I gotta figure it all out before we actually play. Um, oh, you are playing Daggerheart. Critical Role is not, right? I mean, they're probably playing it. They're just not playing it live, right, Dave? Um, let's see. Acquisition Incorporated is doing Daggerheart. I didn't know that, Chris. Shouldn't surprise me, I guess, considering that Jeremy and Chris are with CR now, right? You know what, Daniel? I did play the earlier. I've only ever played the other 5e starter kit, and I liked it. I thought it was good for what it was. I think this is better. I haven't played it yet. Obviously, I just opened it up. But from what I'm seeing so far, anyway, I think it's better. Um, and I don't remember the price. Does anybody remember how much this cost? 60. I'll bet somebody in the chat could get the answer before I looked it up. So I'm just going to trust you guys to answer that question. Yeah, smaller shows are going to be Daggerheart. Oliver, you're pretty late, but but as soon as I'm done, you can go back and rewatch all of the unboxing. Okay, there's a brawler subclass close to a monk. $50. If it's only 50, that feels like a good deal to me. Like if this only costs as much as say the player's handbook, I mean, you're not getting all of the player's handbook there, right? But you're getting enough to have a good solid like 3 play sessions or more out of what feels like a very board gamey kind of D&D game set, I guess. And you could get plenty of use out of it if you were playing with other groups. I don't imagine that like playing with the same group and running through the 3 adventures, right? You'd be like, that was fun. Let's do it again. And you DM this time, and I'll play the rogue, and you play the fighter. Like, it's probably a once through and done kind of thing, at least per player playing. So if you think that's worth $50, $55, it looks like. To help introduce your friends to D&D and or introduce you or somebody else to DMing, then that would be worth it. But yeah, I guess the replayability probably isn't super high. Let's see. 50 for the box, 15 for digital, 55 for the bundle. Got it. Good luck, Mark, with your character, Morgan Chance, that is a gambler. Yeah, for sure, Scared Crow. I almost said Sacred Cow. Scared Crow. I mean, that was a close, almost dyslexic Freudian slip. So, yeah, for sure designed to appeal to board gamers. I think that's kind of the main thing that they're going for here is like, hey, what if we made this a little more board gamey? Would it make for an easier, smoother transition for people who were D&D curious, but a little intimidated by the theater of the mind stuff? Okay, well, what other games am I playing? Oh, good question. Hey, Steven, thank you. I appreciate that because, so Steven always comes to my member Q&A hangouts, and he used to always give me a very kind super chat. But lately I've had to make those for members only unlisted, and I just learned yesterday from YouTube that if you have a video unlisted, even if you're making it available for patrons and YouTube members, you can't do super chats. And so I've missed on those generous donations for the last few months. So that's very kind. I was answering a question from Nas24601. What other games am I playing? I just started playing 2 nights ago, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. And I'm loving it. Every fall, I get a hankering for a good CRPG, right? A video game RPG. the weather starts to get cooler and my wife starts to burn apple cinnamon candles in the house, and I want to sit down and get lost exploring, some pretty beautiful world. Um, and so yeah, this year it's Clair Obscur because the Dungeon Dudes told me that it was like the best game ever made, and I needed to play it, and so now I'm playing it. I'm only like an hour and a half in, maybe, like just past the prologue so far. It's really cool. I don't love the quick time stuff because I'm getting old. There's a reason I don't play, Dark Souls games and Elden Ring, because my reflexes are just not what they used to be. I like turn-based games. Thank you very much. So yeah, I've got the settings turned, the difficulty turned all the way down. So when I inevitably fail those dodges and parries, I don't take a ton of damage as I figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, it's fun. Oh, sorry if my volume seems low. I gotta like make sure I keep facing the mic. Other than that, no. My favorite board game of the moment is Everdell. Have you guys played Everdell? It's the cute little forest creature um, game. It's so fun, but unfortunately, it's a little too complicated for my kids. They can play it, but it's a lot. So I have to help them a lot, right? And it can take a while to get through a game, so I have a hard time convincing everybody in the house to play with me. But when I can, I really am happy to be doing it. Other than that, I spent a lot of time with Civ 7. Speaking of turn-based video games, but it's not as good as 5 and 6. Unfortunately, I still like it. I think it's great. It was worth the probably 100 hours or so I put into it, but I haven't gone back, and not like I did with 5 and 6, which I just was obsessed with for years, frankly, really. Um, all right, let's see. I should probably wrap this up. Hollow Knight, yeah, my oldest son is super into whatever the sequel to Hollow Knight, Silk Song, right? He loves it. Again, I think I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm not interested in like difficult video games. I appreciate a challenge. I want my challenges to be strategic and sort of like, decision based, and not like finger dexterity based, I suppose. I don't know. That's where I'm at in my life, and I'm not ashamed. Have I gotten the chance to play a Cosmere RPG? No, I've not. I I'm sad that I haven't. I'm looking forward to getting my physical copies of Cosmere RPG, and I hope to find. Well, I hope that my friends that I typically play with, who are also Brandon Sanderson fans, will take some time out of their busy lives and learn to play with me so that we can play, because I really want to play just the adventure that comes standard, right? The Bridge 9. Is it Bridge 9? No. It's the one about Town's Honor Blade. Anyways, it looks fun, and I think from what I've read, you guys, for those of you who are interested, have seen the videos I've done on the Cosmere RPG. I think it looks like a great system, even if you're not a fan of the Stormlight Archive stuff. I think it'll still be a good game, but obviously you'd get way more out of it if you were a big fan of the books. So yeah, here's hoping I can find people to play with. Oh, you guys are trying to talk me into playing with your group with Chris and Dave. That would be fun. I would love to, but I don't like playing online. I mean, I'd do it if I have to, but like, I so vastly prefer in person. Maybe I just need to have a better online experience. But yeah, I just don't love. I don't love even Roll20. It doesn't matter what the VTT is. I just think the game is so much better in person, but that's hard. It's hard. Thursday evenings, Chris, let's talk offline. I'm like, that's a maybe. for me. But the other problem is time zones. You guys are like freaking on like not even East Coast. You're like in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and I'm over here in mountain time. And so for me, I'd be like, yeah, I can play at 9 p.m. And you'll be like, great, that's 1 o'clock in the morning for me. Maybe I could play earlier than that. Let's talk offline. Because that would be fun, dang it. I need to play more. Okay, let's see. Draw Steel. Draw Steel is something that I've not really checked out hardly at all. Like I mean, just a perfunctory glance, and that's about it. So I'm gonna have to check out more MCDM stuff. I'm sure it's great. Oh, hey, thanks, Samuel. You're getting your 12-year-old into D&D. Yeah, I don't know if you just joined. I kind of already went through it all, unboxed it. I think the starter set's great. I think especially, trying to get like younger kids into it, especially if they're familiar with board games. I think they'll love it. Once the stream's over, you can go back and watch the beginning as I kind of show you all the stuff that's inside. But I think it would be a good one. Stonewalkers. Thank you. Sorry, I'm slow reading these. That was 5 minutes old. Yeah, Stonewalkers. That adventure looks awesome. Oh, hey, Jeremy's here too. Hey, Jeremy. Let's see here. Playing. Oh yeah, E33. Yeah, it is. It is a beautiful game, and I'm very happy that I have an updated graphics card. I got like. I mean, it's not top of the line. I think it's a NVIDIA. What is it? A 4070 something. So it runs Clair Obscur really well. It's beautiful. Okay. I keep saying I'm going to wrap this up, and then you guys keep making it hard to leave because you're just so chatty. But I told my wife and my daughter that I would take them to dinner. So I think that's why they're knocking on my door. So I better go. You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the super chats, those who gave them. And yeah, you guys are the best. Love you, and hope you have a great weekend. And I'll see you soon. Okay, and Chris, message me. Okay, bye.